Hey guys, Joel Seaman here. Going to be going over the Squat-Stance Deadlift today, and the reason why I want to go over this is because it's really in between the Sumo deadlift and a conventional deadlift. A lot of people think there's really only two ways to deadlift, and that's not really true. The great powerlifter Ed Cohen, who's considered by many to be the best powerlifter of all time, had one of the best deadlifts of all time. He actually used a very similar deadlift approach to what I'm going to be showing here. A lot of people refer to that as the semi-sumo or modified sumo deadlift. And the Squat-Stance Deadlift that I'm going to be demonstrating here is pretty much the same thing. I've just made a few subtle adjustments over the years after having used it with clients. Kind of tweaked it just a little bit to make it more conducive for the typical lifter and for optimizing muscle function and strength. So let me kind of go over what that entails here. Let me actually go ahead and flip this around first. The Squat-Stance Deadlift, essentially what we're doing, like I said, we're combining the best elements, at least in my opinion, of the sumo deadlift and the conventional deadlift. So instead of going way out here, having the toes excessively flared, instead of having that close, narrow stance, we're going to basically be taking a squat stance, as the name implies. So it could be anywhere from roughly 2 to 3 feet apart, okay? My squat stance is about right here. I like to go just a little bit wider than that, so about maybe 20% wider than your typical squat stance. So about right here. From there, it's basically a normal deadlift or a normal sumo deadlift. And again, we're making sure the toes stay straight. When the toes excessively flare, okay, so if I excessively rotate my toes and externally rotate, it drives my hips too far forward. What we're going to do here is we're going to keep them straight. That's going to allow me to get the best hip flexion at the bottom so I can drive the hips back and get good hip extension on the concentric portion of the movement. So again, squat stance, knees out, butt out, arms in between the legs, big chest, pull slack out of the bar, nice and tight, boom, snap, nice control on the way down. That's the great thing about this type of deadlift. It's very conducive for performing negatives or accentuated eccentric motions because it's such a natural feel. It's not dangerous, okay? Unlike the conventional deadlift where you have that really extreme forward torso lean, you pretty much have a 45-degree angle on this one. So I'll show you that in just a second. Let me show you one more head on right here. So again, squat stance, knees out, butt out, pull slack out of the bar, nice and tight. Boom, snap the hips, nice and controlled. From the side, you're gonna see my back pretty much makes a 45-degree position roughly. It's a very safe and conducive position, not only for maximizing force and power, but also it's very easy on the spine, okay? So again, same thing, set that back, and this is really like a low bar squat. Low bar squat, okay? Squat stance deadlift. Low bar squat, squat stance deadlift. So the transfer is awesome, okay? Again, right here, boom, snap the hips. Controlled, snap the hips. Right there. So again, it really transfers extremely well to a proper squat. You hear a lot of powerlifters say the sumo deadlift is best for transferring over to the actual squat. In reality, this is actually even better because it is pretty much identical to the squat mechanics that you would use for a low bar squat or a powerlifter style squat. So that's the Squat-Stance Deadlift. Give it a try and let me know what you think, all right? Thanks.